Everyone, am I audible? If I'm audible, you can type in chat box. Great. So we'll start in next 2 3 minutes. I see still a few more students are trying to join. Right. We'll wait for another 2 minutes. Right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Capstone project Q&A discussion. I hope you remember me. So uh, the elective orientation, we have met. So fine. I'm seeing still less head count. Okay, fine. One more time. Just want to make sure that am I loud and clear? Okay, great. Thank you. So fine. Let's begin our discussion. So as you all know that today's we are going to discuss about this capstone project, basically Q&A discussion. I am sure that you all have gone through the recorded session of capstone project. So how you need to work on the capstone project and things like that. So the reason why we shared the previous recorded session is basically to get you more time to understand that and come up with the questions if you have any, right? So that you can get a complete understanding of it. Because if I discuss the capstone project, the same session and ask you, if you want to ask a question, you will not be able to come up with the questions because you may not understand 100% of the capstone project discussion. So that was the reason we have shared a previous recorded video so that you get a sufficient time to come up with a question. So now, before I take your questions, I just wanted to highlight a couple more points, and let me take you to that important notes here, right? So I will read it through, and so that you get a complete understanding. After that, if there are any questions, so definitely I will take up. All right. So for now, just a second, I'm going to disable the chat for time being. All right. You have not recorded it, so we did not share the recorded video. It will be in your LMS only, right? So you have to check in the LMS. So no problem. Not only today. I mean, if you have not gone through, so it's okay. So you can go through after this session also, right? So you'll get a. Please check in the LMS. Okay, please check your email, and it is mentioned that where it has been uploaded. If it's not mentioned, please do check in your LMS. It will be there, right? So I have confirmed with our team that okay, whether it has been shared or not, it's confirmed that it is shared, right? So if you're still not getting, you can raise a ticket. First check. If you don't find it, please raise a ticket. Definitely will help. Anyway, that was basically to make you understand that how to work on this project. Otherwise, the requirements are there. Everything will be given in your LMS, where you can see the sheets and all the requirements. I will also go through the requirements here so that you get a complete understanding. Before getting into it, I want you guys to spend a couple of minutes here and go through these important notes, right? I will read it through, then I will take your questions. Okay, so now as in the point one mentioned that you have completed your ML, and I'm sure maybe you have completed or maybe going through this internship. There also you're working on different projects, different work, and some evaluation projects also you'll be working on that. So that it means that you have got a complete understanding of how to work on the use cases or the requirements or build a model, things like that, right? So at this point, you are capable to deal with any kind of a project. That is the assumption, because you got a sufficient time to ask the questions, clarify any doubts and all until that point of time, until this point of time. So that is basically point number one. So where we will not provide any kind of a help. So understand this one point very carefully. So whenever you join any company in future, or maybe I wish that you get it very as soon as possible. So there, where a client will give you a work, okay. Of course, you will have your managers and all. Once you start working on your own in the project, right? So you should be in a position to understand the requirement and work on your own, right? You cannot ask back a client that how to work on this project. If he knows everything, he will not give a project to offshore or any companies, right? Because they have money, they want projects to get it done. They have work, they have a business, they cannot deal with that. That's why they're giving a project to companies, where companies will put their efforts, investigate, analyze, do whatever it takes to complete that project and deliver it to client. You cannot ask a client to how help me to complete this project. It doesn't make any sense. It's basically he will say that okay, I will give it to someone else. If you're taking my help and completing my project, why should I give it to you? Right? Understand that basic point. So as much as you understand based on the requirement, try to complete the project, and our agents or no one is going to help you in this capstone project, right? And point number two, see in the requirements we have mentioned that you need to basically get the data from any site, anywhere, right? Population related, area related, literacy related. I know that There are some difficulties, but if you do some research and find out that data, right? So you have to basically find a link or whatever it is, wherever you want to get, you get the data and collect. Basically, it's a data collection part. So where you have to gather data. So in a project, what happens when we work in any company? Client will give as much as information he has, right? Whatever information he has, he will give. But there are some information sometimes in order to analyze the data, we need to acquire the data from somewhere which will support our analysis. We need to understand that. In order to work on a project, some external data will also influence. External data will also help us to analyze the current data and what is going to happen in the future. So this external data, no one will tell you. Client will not tell you that you need to do this, this, this. We'll just give a data. But it is our responsibility to see that is there any external factors affecting our project? Whether external data will help us to analyze the project or requirements or to build a model for analysis. So that is basically main focus here. So you need to get the data in order to complete this project. So the first phase, it's a data collection and a data preparation. You need to collect the data and prepare the data. How are you going to prepare the data? It's up to you. Okay, which has been discussed in the video. So you are free to make assumption here. As I said, there is no standard link here. We have not given any link. You are free to access the data from anywhere, but you have to mention that from where you are collecting the data and how that data will help you. So those points you need to mention in the phase one, right? Your assumption must be there. Okay, I have thought this. Okay, in this year this is the rate of literacy rate. So going back 2 years back, 3 years back, 4 years back, so this could have been the literacy rate. So how did you come to that conclusion? That thought process you need to write, because this is an analysis. How did you arrive? Whatever you are doing, how did you arrive to that point, right? So that thing you need to clearly mention in the phase one. Third point, so whatever the data you are going to collect, right? So you need to merge or combine how you want to deal. That is up to you. We are giving you some data. You are going to collect some data. So now you need to check the requirements. For that requirement, which data you need in order to work on that particular requirement, which are all the data you need. You have collected, we have given. So how much data and which are all the columns you are going to combine, it's up to you. So if you read each and every requirement carefully, you will get it. We have to read it very, very carefully. This is how real-time project works. So they will give one statement. So in that statement, a lot of information will be hidden. So you need to basically read each and every word in that statement carefully. So that's what the point number 3 talks about. Point number 4, uh, there is no fixed way. See, I can write a code based on what I understood in my classes or how I studied. So that is my thought process, right? If I give one puzzle to all of you, everyone mind is different, right? So it doesn't matter how you are going to work, on what thought process you are going to work. Ultimately, what we need a proper analysis. As long as your analysis makes sense, whether if your analysis is in the right direction, doesn't matter which graph you use, which plots you use, whatever you use. You want to use a Tableau, you want to use a Power BI, no matter. But you have to put everything in a proper place and write your analysis. This is what I did. This is how is the outcome. You do anything. Excel use you so I'm sure you're all going to use a ML where you have learned about a different graphs, CBOR, Matplotlib. So those two libraries are more than sufficient to make analysis. If you don't know Tableau, Power BI, don't worry about it. Don't worry. In case if you find that is easy, do it. As I said, there is no proper or a fixed procedure. I believe all are going to do in a Jupyter notebook only, using Seaborn or Matplotlib. But I'm just giving an idea. As long as your analysis in the right direction and it makes sense, we don't care how you work, what tool you used, what library you used, but it should be shown in the Jupyter notebook. Okay. Then the fifth point, how much analysis you make, that is going to that would be better. The more data you collect, the more analysis you can make. As much as analysis you can do, that is better, right? See, client will ask you to analyze two, three things. Make analysis, data analytics, right? So the data analytics, what happens? So find out the stories in my data. Find out the stories in my data. Stories like, let's say that Amazon has a tons and tons of data. Each data will tell some stories. Like one story is just like, if you're buying a laptop, right? So Amazon will suggest you what? Mouse. It will suggest you stand. It may suggest you also some work desk, something like that, right? Headphone maybe. So that is one story. That story is going to help business. Out of 100, maybe 10 people buy laptop, sorry, mouse along with the laptop. They don't have intention to buy the mouse, but Amazon recommends, suggests you. So that suggestion, the right suggestion is one story. From where it is coming? It is coming from the data. So that's why you collect the data. What and all your data is going to tell. Although I have given a fixed requirements. On top of that, if you are making more analysis, that is even better. That will help you yourself. So that is point number 5. 6, for every analysis, you need to document properly in the Jupyter node. Let's say you are plotting a graph, X versus Y, right? Some analysis. So in there, you have to write your notes, what you have analyzed that, what you are seeing in that graph. If something increases, what is increasing along with that? If something increases, X increases, what Y is doing, how Y is reacting to X data, what is the relationship. So whatever the analysis you make based on the graph, yes, you need to write it in the note, right? So, and point number 7, clearly mention the phase number, right? Phase 1, phase 2. In the phase 2, you have a requirement number 1, phase 2, requirement number 2.1, requirement number 2.2, then your analysis, right? So wherever it is necessary, if 2, 3 requirements needs to be worked together, then you mention 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 in the same cell you mention, right? So then point number 8, you need to post your complete work in LMS, right? How to post and all it is given. You need to create a GitHub link. Understand this point, although it is mentioned. Create a GitHub link. In that, you can create one repository like Capstone project. There you can post your solutions. Phase number 1, phase number 2, phase number 3, phase number 4. Question may be SQL related. Sir, I worked in a SQL server. So how can I write in a Jupyter notebook? So if you are working in a SQL workbench, whatever the platform, for SQL, there are so many platforms. Take a screenshot of your query and put it in the Jupyter notebook or in the Word document. Just showcase that where is your, how did you write the SQL, and also write the requirement 3.1, 3.8.1, whatever the number. Right? So then the ninth point, yes, this capstone project will be evaluated and will be treated as evaluation projects, right? So this is the biggest project that you are going to work. And trust me, Trust me, if you are able to complete this project on your own. So of course you can take help, Google help, Chat GPT, this, that. There are so many resources available. But definitely you have to investigate, you have to research, right? If you are able to complete on your own, trust me that this is going to take you to some other level in terms of a knowledge, in terms of a experience, which is going to help you a lot. In the previous batches, we have got a feedback from almost all the students that this project has changed their thought process. This project has changed the way they look the data. This project has changed the way they were working before. After this project, how confident they are, right? In fact, few students who got the job, they were highlighting this project, that this project helped us to how to investigate, how to collect the data, how it helped them to get that confidence, right? So take this project very, very seriously, and see, it's a matter of 4 weeks. And the duration of this project will be 4 weeks from tomorrow, right? From tomorrow, it will be 4 weeks. Put whatever the effort it takes, and you see yourself in which level you are. And after 1 month, you will see yourself that at which level you are going to, right? So the 10th point, you can use any library, any model. Client don't care that how you solve the problem. Client wants the result. He don't know technicality, ABCD of technicality. He just want results. Amazon wants business. Doesn't matter which recommendation you are giving to the client or the customer. You sell anything, but Amazon wants what? Revenue. Every quarter, their revenue needs to be increased, right? So think that way. All right. So yes, these are the important points. Ninth point, you need to be very focused here, right? It will be evaluated. So fine. I think some of you asked the question. I already answered during my discussion. Some echo. Okay. No, sir, I joined it. Will the record? Yes, recording will be available. Recording will be available. When we'll get the project, it will start from tomorrow. I hope requirements. Not sure if it is uploaded or not. Check your LMS by evening. It will be uploaded. If not, tomorrow, right? So whenever, in case if it is not uploaded, in case, okay, whenever it gets uploaded, it will happen today or tomorrow only. Whenever, so in case, in worst case, it happens day after worst case, which won't be. So the day, the start date will start from the day when we upload the requirements. Although you have seen all the requirements, right? Any dummy project, capstone project idea, nothing. As I said, no help, no help. We are sorry for that. And this is what you have to go through this pain. We want you guys to go through the pain. Then you will realize the real time work, how it is going to be. And so basically, you will feel a pressure for sure. You will feel that pressure that, okay, how can I do that? So I'm sure that you will get a solution if you put more efforts. Think. The more you think, the more ideas you will get. Okay. The projects will be uploaded by today evening or tomorrow. Uh, I am going to reconfirm with the concerned team. I will ask them to upload by evening, if not tomorrow. So whenever, suppose if it uploads tomorrow, the day will start from day after tomorrow, right? So today is 20. If the requirements uploaded 21st, so from 22nd, 4 weeks or 1 month, okay? Where the project will be uploaded, you create a GitHub repository, GitHub link. There you, in the one of the folder in GitHub, upload your phase one, phase two, phase three, phase four. That main link you need to submit in the LMS, which has been already discussed in the recorded video, right? In your LMS, let me show you that. So here you can see here, right? Okay, yeah, I'll just go through this little bit. So uh, in your LMS, right, some in the project section, you will see assessments, right? Click on the projects, right? So in the crime project. Then you will see this kind of a page where you will see the description of the project, everything, and you will see evaluator connect here, right? So here you are going to paste your GitHub link. That link will have, right, your, let's say, Capstone project. So in that main repository will have a phase one, phase two, phase three, phase four, all Jupyter notebook where it is necessary. If you think that Jupyter notebook is not required, so you can submit any documents in that particular phase, right? So fine. So fine. How can you work four projects? You have to take a time. As I said, you are going to go through some pressure. That is what I meant. So you have to make efforts. You have to put effort. This is how it is going to be, right? So if you are comfortable with one project, right? So other projects will not take much time, right? Because you already have the ideas. Only thing is that you just need to write the code. When you are already knowing that how to build a model, what are all the pre-processing phases? What are all the techniques available in the pre-processing phases for, let's say, identifying the relationship, checking the multicollinearity problem, finding the correlation coefficient. When you already have that thought process, when you know those techniques, doesn't matter four projects or 10 projects, right? Yes, only thing is that you need to write a code. For that, you need extra time. So that time you need to take take out from your busy schedule and work on that. So topic are same in crime in India. Otherwise, there should be use another topic here. I did not get your question, Tushar. Requirements, everything will be uploaded in your LMS. Don't worry. Without requirements, how will you work, right? See, if you have any doubts when you are working on the project, Akshay, for everyone, in case if you are getting a doubt that how can I do this? I am seeing some mismatches here, something like that. Some doubts you are getting. So you will you need to make some assumptions. You need to make assumptions. Okay, I am getting a problem here. So this data is not matching. So I am going to assume something. I am going to assume. So this could be the data. I'm taking that data and working. So that assumption you need to write. You need to write assumption and what assumption you are making and why you are making. So that you can keep going. Don't get stuck. If you are having some confusion that, okay, what could be this? Make some assumption. That's what the point I have mentioned in the point. Assumptions can be, you can do any kind of assumption, right? So where and all it is, where is this? Okay. So you can see here, that's what I mentioned. Point number, say point number two. Right? Make sure whenever you assume something, you must write what is your assumption. All right. That's what the meaning is. Okay. So projects are for as ML only. Okay. So see Tableau, not all the students know Tableau, right? Right. So it's ML only, right? SQL project is, there is no specific SQL project. There are SQL requirements in this project. SQL requirements in this project, which is, see, third phase, I believe. Third phase, right? So everything is straightforward. All these files will be given to you. So many files we are going to give you, right? All the requirement files. There are a lot of files we are going to give you. My question is topic can change or not. Topic is basically crime projects. Indian crime project. That is the topic. That is the only project that you are going to work on. Both the Flip Robo Capstone project are different, guys. Where will we get the files? You will get the files. Without files, how can we ask you to work, right? Right? So may you keep checking your mails. We will post the files, everything, right? And you will get the information, right? Don't worry about it. Without a file, how can we ask you to work on, right? We have a bunch of files, not one or two, right? And I'm requesting everyone, please look into these notes. These notes are very, very important. Very, very important. If you don't read the notes, you will face a lot of difficulties when you are working on the analysis, right? In every phase, we have a notes, every phase. And each notes, whatever you see, right? That's why it is in a red color. They're very important. Each note tell a lot of things. You need to basically go through those notes very, very carefully. So do we need to upload phase by phase? No. Finish everything and at last submit. On the last day also you can submit. So we are not looking, okay, 1 week, one phase, second weeks, second phase. No. On last week, you can work on 4 phases and submit. Okay. In fact, we are not going to check your work files, your solutions or projects until last day finish. Okay. So on last day, you can submit all in one in a link. One GitHub link. In that, create one repository or a folder, name it as a Capstone project. In that folder, phase one, phase two, phase three, phase. Very simple. Just like you create in Windows one main folder, under that subfolder, under that you feel different files, right? Same thing. Is that clear, Aditya? Great. So phase two analytics, phase three is SQL related, and phase four is machine learning. Right here, you are going to work on almost all the phase. I mean, all kind of a work which generally we do in the project in a companies. Analytics will be there. SQL will deal with that. Data collection we do, and working on the ML project and model building. Right. Although this model is unsupervised, right? Clustering clearly mentioned. So that will help you to, you know, mm, solve a little bit of problem. So you don't need to think that what I need to predict and all. This is not a prediction, it is a clustering, right? So any questions here, any concerns? How are we going to manage so many projects of both Capstone and along with our this is a tough time, Aditya. I certainly understand that for working professionals, it is little difficult. But see, this project, I would say, if you are working professional, if you are in a, uh, if you have a experience, right? See, if freshers are taking 3 hours to solve or 1 hour to finish one requirement for experienced and working professionals, I assume that they will take 10 minutes. I'm just giving a rough number here, right? If they are taking 3 hours, so you will take 1 hour. That 1 hour. So don't think that I should finish everything in one day, right? 1 month time you have. Daily, if you put half an hour or 1 hour, starting 3 weeks, right? So most of the requirements you will be able to cover. Last week, you can basically speed up, step up and give 2 hours, right? So depending upon how much thought process, how comfortable you are in the analysis, right? Phase one analytics will be Excel or Jupyter Notebook. See, phase one basically is a data collection, right? Understand the requirements carefully, right? If you read the requirements, you collect the data, right? And manually, it is not a web scraping task or anything. Okay. Don't think too much. How can I scrape this data? You can manually collect. Data should be collected for the years, whatever, right? So how, so you will collect data, right? So that data only you are going to combine with what data we are giving. How are we going to combine and how are you going to use that, right? So you can keep in Excel file, CSV file, however. See in the what data you're going to collect, right? So in the second phase, it will reflect. So we will be able to understand that how much data you collected in the phase one. We can clearly see in your phase two, right? Doesn't matter where you keep the data. It will reflect in this phase two because whatever the data you collect in the phase one, you are going to use in the phase two. There are a lot of requirements based on phase one data collection. Even if you don't show your data in the phase one, right? So we will get to know that whether you collected or not, right? So phase one, whatever documents, Excel sheet, if you want to share, you can share it. See, that's what I said again, uh, once again, you see here, point number five, simple point. How much data you're going to give us? How much analysis you are going to make is better. So how much data you're going to put it in your GitHub repository for phase one, which is better. Getting my point? Very simple point. The more information you give, better. The more information you collect, the more analysis you will be able to make. Right. I hope I'm covering all the questions. Okay, requirement files will be shared very, very soon. Don't worry about that. Second phase is clearly mentioned. It is data analysis, right? It is clearly mentioned, right? Analysis, state, union, territory wise analysis. How you are going to make analysis, you have to come up with that idea, Sarah. So yes, it is going to put you, as I said, it is going to put you under a pressure for sure. And we want you guys to go through that pressure and how you are, so automatically new ideas will come. The more you start digging the data, more you are looking into the requirements, the more ideas will create in your mind for sure. Just that at high level, it looks like very big. How can I do this? But once you get into phase by phase, always look project like a phase by phase. Each phase break the data, break the tasks, right? So this is how basically we work in a project. Don't look a project, entire project at once. Try to divide into parts. Right now we divided into parts, phase one. So in the phase one also try to divide into task. Divide into phase, fine. Within the phase, divide into task. So task is what? We need to collect the population of each state. So how many states? How for how many years? How much data we have given? How much data is missing? For which year it is missing? So for those missing information, you are going to collect. So this is how you need to think, right? Simple task, one task at a time. So by the time you finish phase one, right, data collection preparation part, so you will get a lot of ideas, a lot of knowledge. So that is going to help you in the phase. Trust me. Is that clear, Sarah? Okay, fine. So in fact, this project, of course, you are going to put it in a GitHub. So in your a profile also, in your resume also, you can basically put this GitHub link. Work on all the phases and finish this project and highlight this link, GitHub link in your resume also. So mention that you have taken the initiative to analyze the Indian crimes. So that is going to put a lot of weightage in your resume also. Can we get this a slideshow? It is available in your this one. See, I'm going to let's do one thing. I'm going to scroll page wise. Okay. So when you are going back to this recorded session, you can take a screenshot if you want. Otherwise, it is available in your LMS, as I said, right? But just in case if you want, so you can take a screenshot after this class, right? Project data, you will find it in your LMS very soon, right? So you will get a zip file, right? Something like this. So where you can download and extract all the files. So duration is 4 weeks from the day we upload the requirements and files. Yes, repository can be, yeah, it will be titled as Capstone project. You create one project, one repository, right? It doesn't cost you, right? Free of cost, right? Moreover, you will not keep that you don't need an extra storage in your system. It will be in the GitHub, right? All right. Any more questions here? I see question frequency all of a sudden reduced. So yeah, one more time, I'm going to repeat this. Read notes carefully. Read requirements very, very carefully, right? Fine. So any more questions? So say I don't know about internship project. I'm from data trained. Your internship company is different. So there are SMEs in internship. So I have no idea about internship projects. I'm not involved in that. Okay. So that is other company where mm, you get a project from, right? Okay. I will wait for another minute to see if you have any new question. So there is also same thing happen. Same thing happen means what? Same thing it means same project. You got a crime project there as well? I hope not. Nikita, you can write your query in the chat box. You don't need to raise a hand. You'll see this is more of a see deployment. One student is asking, will you be able to deploy the model? So this is not basically deployment model. So we are not going to pass the crime data to your model, right? So deploying will come into picture when the live data is keep streaming and hitting your model. So that we are not working on, right? No, in short, no, will not deploy this. Irfan is asking, may I know about yourself? Okay, so I think I have, you have seen me in the elective discussion, right? If I'm not wrong, I'm not sure if I introduced myself. But anyway, in case if you don't know me, myself, Shankar, and I have been into IT industry from past 15 years and worked on many data science projects. My expertise in finance, banking, products, healthcare, and telecommunication. I have deployed many data science projects, ML projects, and I spent more than 6 years in working with a client in US. I worked in California for 3 years, Pennsylvania 3 years, and few months in different states like Minnesota and Ohio. Yeah, I'm technical lead here, data science. So I hope that's sufficient, right? Mohammed Irfan, to know about myself. For SQL queries, how to show in Jupyter. SQL queries, how to show in Jupyter Notebook. So if you know that SQLite 3, you can directly write a query in GitHub, sorry, Jupyter Notebook. If you don't know SQLite 3, if you worked on SQL Server, SQL, whatever the workbench, and any platform, right? There are many databases, not only one, right? Not only one. There are many databases. So take a screenshot of your query. Very simple. Put it in a Word document, right? Requirement number one, screenshot of the query. Requirement number two, screenshot of the code, right? Whatever SQL you're going to write. Put it in a Word document, put that Word document in the phase three. How difficult it is. Anyway, ultimately we are going to see the query only. What if we complete this by own? So by any chance we will have a good offer by a firm. So if you see this Capstone project, the main idea is basically to feel the pressure, to think more, come up with some ideas, investigate more, research more. Ultimately, that is going to help you in terms of what? In terms of your knowledge. If you have more knowledge, you will speak confidently in the interview, right? So if they ask any analysis related question, you will be able to think pretty fast. That time you'll not be fumbling that, okay, how do I do this? Because that phase we are giving you right now. So you are going to think here. So the more you think, the more solution will come up with, right? So automatically will unknowingly will grow your knowledge. You will improve yourself, right? Uh, there is no demo project. There is no demo project, as I already mentioned. So guys, think this as a real-time project. Again, I'm telling you, some of you are not understanding. In a company, you cannot ask, give me a demo project. Give me who did similar kind of a project, then only I will work. It's not going to help. Based on your knowledge, based on your thought process, based on your ability, right? Whatever you understood, put everything in this capstone project. Very simple. Non-engineering background. So you have learned ML, everything, right? Python and all from whatever the months. I hope Deepika ma'am might have taken your batch. So the same thing you are going to learn basically. So yeah, the project will be on the same thing, whatever you learned. So improve yourself and be confident, practice more and more, right? So no companies will ask where you are coming from, tech background, non-tech background, right? In the interview, if you are able to prove yourself, if you are able to answer all the questions in the interview, nobody cares from where you are coming, Aditi, right? Be perfect in your, and you are good in that. Doesn't matter what background you have, right? Uh, report writing, yeah, report writing, everything will be in the Jupyter notebook only. Okay, the same approach used in no, in the companies and all, we don't write in the Jupyter notebook. So I thought you were asking about this project. In the company and all, we use different IDEs, integrated development environment, right? So Jupyter Notebook is basically we use. See, you can write in Jupyter Notebook, and in every company use a different IDE. Some will use a Spider, some will use VB, some will use different. So ultimately, code will be same. Code will not change, right? Only environment will change. Whether you write anything in the notepad or Word document or Excel, data is data. Some will store, in different format. Okay. Elective has interference in project. Interference means what do you mean? I mean, if you want to use elective knowledge, you can use it, but it is not mandatory. There is no help. As I said, you need to work on your own. You need to work on your own. So we have seen in the previous batches that sometimes relatives, brother, sister, they enroll. We used to see this same Jupyter notebook, same copy pasted. So I'm telling you, if you are doing that, if you are working with someone and copying their ideas and all, it's loss for you. It's loss for you only. You will not gain knowledge because here we are not going to reward you like 1 lakh rupees prize, 10 lakh and all. We are not going to reward you. We will give a marks only. You may get a full marks if you copied someone and that person analysis, resolution, everything is perfect, good. You will get the same marks, but you are at the losing end. You don't know. You are not realizing. Work on your own. Getting my point, Aditya? You may get a marks, that is fine, but how is that going to help you personally? In future, will that friend or your batchmate will come to solve your project problem? No, right? Understand that point. Where we can submit this project, it's in the LMS only. So in the project section. So I have shown you already. I think you missed that point. So you will see this kind of evaluator connect. So here you just copy paste your Jupyter, sorry, GitHub link. Very simple. So fine, guys. I see some different questions other than Capstone. Uh, any telecom project available? Like we don't have a telecom project, Bimirao, but definitely what I would suggest is go to Kaggle, go to Kaggle, search for telecom project. I'm sure all of you know Kaggle platform. So there you will find almost all domain projects, right? Go to Kaggle and search telecom something, some keywords. So you will get for sure you will get some data set and the requirements. You just start working on that. That's how we grow. That's how data scientists will grow, right? Their machine learning practitioners will go. Looking into others' code, understanding what they are trying to do, looking other code of how they are solving the problem and how you are solving the problem. See what is the gap, fill that gap and grow, right? Okay, guys, I hope this discussion helped at some extent. Uh, I wish you all the best, guys, and do well. And again, as I said, please put your own effort, research. I'm sure this project is going to help you a lot, for sure. You'll remember me for saying this, right? So once again, thank you for attending this session, and I wish you really all the best. And I also wish you good luck for your job also, right? Get your dream job as soon as possible, guys. Good luck, guys. Thank you.